We're here with Sean Buino from Dad's Home Improvement. Sean, you have one of those projects that can really make your kitchen stand out for us today.
We're going to install Backsplash tile. It's the finishing touch to any great kitchen, and we're going to go through it step by step so you, the do-it-yourselfer, can take care of this on your own time.
That sounds great. Before we get started, why don't you tell us the supplies we need?
You're going to want to get a sheeted tile product that comes in a 12 by 12 tile. It makes life a ton easier.
Yeah.
The next thing that we need is we need a way to get the tile onto the backsplash. This is a tile setting mat, okay? This is a heavy duty adhesive on both sides on a fibered paper that we're going to put on the backsplash and then adhere the tile to that. We're going to be able to grout in the same day, so this is going to be a one-day project for you. Then of course you need grout.
In addition to the three main supplies, you'll also need some tools. You'll want a tape measure, a utility knife, a trowel, and a grout float. And last but not least, unless you totally luck out, you're going to need a wet saw to cut some tiles. You can rent these by the day or week from a tool supply store.
The first step of this project is we want to make sure the backsplash is nice and clean of any construction debris.
Once the backsplash is clean, we can apply the tile setting mats. Tile setting mats can be found at most hardware stores and come in rectangular sheets, which are great for smaller projects like this one.
I'm just going to remove the protective sheet. You want to line this up. You press it firmly. There's one more important step, and this is what we're going to use the trowel for. And you can use any sort of flat surface tool.
Sure.
We just want to get all the air bubbles and air gaps. Using a mat like this saves so much time. We can prep the whole backsplash for tile in a pretty easy step. This is a great do-it-yourself project.
Well, the tile setting mat is all set. What is the next step?
The next step is to make sure that we remove the protective barrier off the tile setting mat, and then it's time to start setting tiles.
Okay, sounds good.
Sean carefully removes the backing on all of the setting mats and starts to put up the tile. So far, this project isn't looking too difficult.
We're going to go from left to right, and we're going to start with as many large pieces of tile, full sheets of tile, that we can put on the backsplash. And then we'll make our cuts afterwards to fill in where we have to. So this is pretty important to make sure that this gets set nice and square, because this is going to be the lead tile for all the rest of them. You have a little forgiveness where if we have to adjust one or two tiles, which we will throughout this backsplash, and I'll show you how to deal with that. If you get the tile up there and you decide you don't like it, or it's in the wrong spot, then you're going to have to remove the tile and most likely replace the adhesive on the back. So replace the tile mat.
So make sure you know what you're doing before you stick it on.
That's right. We're going to repeat this process until we absolutely have to cut tile.
Now these should fit right together like a puzzle.
That's right. So you can see that looks exactly how it's supposed to look.
Okay.
Now we do have a tile here that's angling downward, and I'd like to fix that because I'm not really happy with the way that looks. I'm going to take my trowel, and I'm going to gently slide it into that space, and just raise that tile up ever so slightly. You see how I was able to raise that? Now we have a more uniform grout line. So Ryan, we don't have the space for a full tile here.
Okay.
So I'd like to notch out a couple of the tiles that we can bring to the wet saw later on.
So this is one of the benefits of getting these on a sheet. You get a little bit of play and you can cut out pieces as needed.
It is, exactly. This is just a cloth mesh backing, so it's very easy to cut with a razor blade.
Yeah, I saw that.
But we can only avoid the wet saw for so long. And in part 2 of this project, it's time for the power tool.